Hello, I'm Ufuk Shen. You may have seen the video image you see on the screen quite a lot on social media sites, friends. The image you see on the screen is a bedroom render that was prepared in SketchUp and rendered in 3D Max with Corona Render. This is my own image, friends. I had rendered it before. Now, when we upload the image here to the Kling.ai site, friends, we can actually animate the part we want to be animated. In fact, Kling.ai has improved a lot with version 2.1. Look, when the character steps on the carpet, a physical effect is created, friends. In other words, the act of stepping on the carpet, the indentation on the carpet, or the depression on the bed when lying down becomes noticeable. The prompt I gave here was actually for the character to come in joyfully and lie down on the bed, in other words, to come with the excitement of lying down and then lie on the bed. It didn't do that exactly. I had ChatGPT write the prompt. I have a bedroom at hand. I had a prompt written for this on a site called Kling.ai. It wrote a prompt for me there. Look, it wrote the English version, and I used the shorter and clearer version. For Kling.ai, friends, use the shorter and clearer version because it's very important. Kling.ai is a paid site, friends. When you come back here within this site, look, normally it uses 70 credits here. So for Kling.ai 2.1 here, it uses 70 credits. In a 10-second segment, there are both 5-second and 10-second options. When you upload the image here and paste the regular prompt here, friends, it gives you this visual. However, there is an important criterion here, friends. Look, normally my picture is like this. Look, this is the picture. Let me press Ctrl Z and go back, friends. Let's do it all together from the beginning. My picture is like this. Look, actually, the left side of the image should allow the character to move around. In other words, on the side facing you from the camera right here, friends, you need to create an area for a character to walk, to make space for them. To do that, use the crop tool in Photoshop. Look, the crop tool is selected right now. I've selected the image. When I drag it to the left and enlarge it, look, when I select the checkered flag area here, it automatically generates that part using artificial intelligence. What was our goal here? To create a space for ourselves for the animation. Can it be done in a narrow area? Yes, it can. But you need to create a space for the character. You need to do some calculations. That's why it's more suitable for us to expand the area a bit more. Photoshop's generative expand feature gives you 3 options. Look, it generated this one. This is the first. The second is this one in the middle. And the third is this one. Whichever fits the scene better. Look, this one is more compatible. It even created a curtain here. You can use this one. When you select this and then come over here and click merge image, it now becomes a single picture, friends. After that, you can adjust the tones and so on. When you upload this image to the Kling.ai site, look, when you drop it here and enter your prompt here, friends, you can now create a visual like this. Of course, I had told it to come and lie down on bed with joy, with that feeling of tiredness and the happiness of going to bed. But this is what it did. Well, actually, this isn't bad either. If you add some music to the background, it will really look nice. Of course, it does it in 10-second segments. You can turn this into animation, like a movie. So first, it came to the bed and looked outside for 10 seconds. Then it lay down on the bed. After that, it got up again or read a book or played with his dog on the carpet. You can adapt these in various ways to suit yourself. In other words, Kling.ai is one of the most widely used sites. I mean, in most of the videos made about artificial intelligence, 90% of them use this, friends, because this is the most successful one. That's what I want to say. Other than that, if you have any questions about this or if you have mistakes in your prompts, you can write them in the comment section. If you want a video about this as well, you can also mention it in the comment section. Don't forget to like the videos and subscribe to our channel, friends. See you again. With love and respect, take care.